Hello and welcome to Straight Talk with Arun Kumar, where everything is on the table, nothing is off limits. Anything and everything under the sun will be discussed. Topics ranging from politics, economy, people's pulse, public mood, NRI associations, non-profit organizations, you name it, we have it covered. Most of the times, my shows are about politics, social issues, political issues, and they're heavy loaded. So I thought today we'll make it a little lighter and bring about one of the most emotional and an experience which almost every Indian, most of Indians go through here in the United States, which is parenting. I had another gentleman to come into the show today, but unfortunately he canceled his appointment. So we have two wonderful ladies today in our show as panelists. Let me introduce my guests. We have Rekha Ragula.
Hi.
In our show. Hi Rekha, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Thanks
And
for having me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And we have Toral Goradia. Hi Toral, how are you?
Hi Arun, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Sure. Good. Let's start with Toral. Toral, why don't you introduce yourself to our guests?
Sure. My name is Toral Goradia. I live in Hillsborough, New Jersey. I have lived in the US for 24 years now, and I have two boys, 20-year-old and 18-year-old.
24 years, then I have a lot of questions for you.
Sure.
Yeah, the more your experience in the US, the more the questions. So
Sure, I'm ready.
but that doesn't mean you lie. That doesn't mean you
No,
lie.
absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
And I promise I won't ask any tricky questions.
Great.
Yeah, so Rekha, what about you? What's your experience in the US?
Yeah, I have been here almost 15 plus years, and an IT professionalist, and having two kids, 8-year-old twins.
Twins?
So, yeah.
Oh! So, wow. It's
A boy and a girl.
So I have more questions for you. Let me Okay. All right. So let's start with you, Toral.
Sure.
So you came 24 years ago, right? So how was your, not necessarily as a parent, but how was your experience when you came to US for the first time?
Sure. So I guess my experience will not be very different from what everybody experiences, right? It is the challenge of coming to a new country with a totally different culture, right? I do have extended family here, but the way I would say is, you have to go through that experience, right? You have to feel it, you have to experience it. Of course, the cultural challenges, the challenges, just the social challenges in terms of you're not surrounded by as many people as you would be back in India is, something that you have to build, you have to work upon. So those were the two biggest challenges, that I had faced when I came to this country.
So cultural and location-wise.
Yeah, and social, right?
Social
Just that social support that you get in India is absolutely very different.
Yeah, it all comes as a package.
Absolutely, it comes as a package. Yeah.
What do you think, Rekha?
Yeah, when I came in, it was like the first time out of the house.
Oh, wow.
Not even been to...
Out of the house, straight 10,000 miles away. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So that was, out of the house, Bombay for a week before where I got my visa and all that.
That doesn't count. No, I'm not counting that. No.
My dad was with me, so totally alone is here when I landed. But the thing was, I had other friends of mine who were working for the same company as mine, the client. So it was easier for me to just come in. But the worst part was missing family, because anything and everything, it's like you morning and evening, your mom wakes you up, your grandparents are there with you, and nothing else. Like all of us are in our own world of saying like, oh, I miss my mom, I miss my dad, I miss my other friends over there and things like that. But then slowly got over it.
Have to.
Yeah, no.
So when you miss so many things, right? Why did you come to US? Could have stayed in India.
That's a very good question, Arun.
and that's why and that's why I asked. And that's why I asked. See?
I followed my husband here.
You asked my viewers. I'm very popular for good questions.
Absolutely, I can tell.
Yes.
So I got married, to my husband when he was here. He did his bachelor's and master's here. He came back to India very traditionally. How it works. these guys come for a week, and then everything has to get done within that
These
week.
guys?
So
Oh my God.
so
Okay,
yeah,
so
he was there.
more questions for Tural. Go ahead.
So he was there, and we just clicked, and I knowingly, I knew what I was getting into. Like I said, I did have my extended family, but I was, again, very fresh out of college, never worked back in India, and I said, okay, I'll go. So that's what brought me here.
These guys, ye ladke.
I'll be cautioned here with that.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the phraseology, okay? I'm nice, but not too nice. Go ahead. So yeah, so what brought you here to US?
My work, they transferred me over here. So as I told, like other colleagues of mine were already in here. So after seeing them, I was like, okay, I'm comfortable to join them. But my dad was like, no, you have to get married and then only go, kind of a thing. But
Right.
my visa got processed before he could get me married.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it was like, okay, you keep looking for the grooms, and then I will just go. And they're saying like 18-month or 2-year period of the work.
Right.
So I'll be back by then. So by then you have the groom ready. So it was like the first month I was like, okay, let me go and see all the places over here before my dad calls and says like, okay, I have a groom here, come back, kind of a thing. So I would have visited west, east, down, south, north, everywhere I could, trying to get there.
Yeah, so you came here. So let me ask you this question then, because you're not answering what I wanted.
Okay.
Okay, so what made you stay back so many years? So there has to be something.
Sure. I think, I did
And
get...
please, this time, do not use husbands as an excuse.
Okay, I won't, I promise. How about that?
Oh, sure. Let's see if you keep your promise. Let's see.
So let me tell you, I think I liked the, the culture here in terms of working. I got my, freedom. I was able to pursue, what I wanted to. Absolutely, and that is one thing that kept me here. And then once you have your own kids, and you get into that grind and the system, there is a lot of opportunities here, a lot of opportunities that this country offers.
That's it.
And
That's the word I was looking for.
Great.
Opportunities.
Great.
What about you? What made you stay back?
Same.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Money, right? Money. Hey, dollars, of course.
The same reason. Well, you must have also stayed back.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, seriously. I mean, I'm totally in favor of US. I lived in about 6 countries.
Okay.
Including Europe and North America. And I think United States of America is the best country in the whole world. And I have no qualms in saying that. I'm here for money, but more than money, because I earned money even in London for so many years. But America is very close to my heart. I don't let anyone talk bad about America, because every country has its own, pluses and minuses, right?
Sure.
So that's the only reason I stayed back. Sure, of course. But now my question is, Thoral, you have kids, right? They were 18 and 20 years old.
Correct.
So at a very high level, we'll get into details. So now this was your non-parental phase of your life, right? So far.
True.
So how did your life change, or what challenges did you face raising up kids? Kids meaning Indian kids in America. So.
Sure. So I'm going to give you a very high level answer.
Yeah.
To
Sure. Of course.
We're getting into nitty-gritties of
we will,
it.
yeah.
But again, as I guess all of us, most of them have experienced, a few of them will experience, is of course that culture, that we as Indian parents want to preserve, right? We want to ensure that our kids are well connected with their roots. So that is one of the, I guess, biggest challenges that, I thought was, that I had faced. And of course, for them to know their mother tongue, at least I did not have expectations saying that, hey, he should be able to read and write, but at least to be able to communicate with their grandparents or with their family and that was my priority, or I think my challenge.
Yeah,
that
if I may ask, what language is it? Hindi, Gujarati?
Gujarati.
Okay, so you made sure to speak the language, so they're
Right,
connected.
right. And up to a certain age, you know, we were all Gujarati at home.
Right,
and
right.
then, of course, you know, when
Yeah.
the kids go out to school, you want to make sure that they have that mix as
Correct,
well.
correct.
So, as of today, my kids do understand Gujarati,
Right.
but they don't reply back.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yes.
That's okay.
That's a standard
Um,
complaint from every Desi parent.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it's not unusual. So you know, those were pretty much the at a very high level the challenges.
Just because you said these men in quotes before.
Oh, boy.
Let me put you in
You
the spot
are
right now.
targeted.
I'm ready to put you in the spot.
Oh boy, what did I say?
Yeah. So to face that challenge, right? How did you face that challenge? So you know, when they reply to you in English, did you ever try to? Because I see many kids in the U.S. who both speak, write, and read. Not a lot, but quite a few. Their language, be it Hindi or
Sure.
Kannada or Telugu. So what efforts did you put to make sure they also speak? And
Sure. So there was, you know, constant making them aware that why don't you try talking in Gujarati? You know, let's try. But I guess after some time, you just is like, okay, you just
you give up and you start responding in English, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And ultimately, you know, then the conversation is like all English. But yes, you know, you want to make sure that they know the basic words, which
Right.
I think my kids do know some
Okay.
basic words. When the grandparents visit, they can effectively communicate. So that's, I think, is, you know, works for me.
Right. So Rekha, what challenges did you face as a because you must have an extra extra set of challenge raising twins.
Yes.
Because the problem is you wouldn't get a chance to use your experience, right?
Yeah.
Normally, what happens is one is older, one is younger. You learn from your older kid,
Right.
like the first-time parent, and then apply those techniques.
Yep.
But in your case, both are going up at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, growing up. So.
And the main difficulty was we didn't have both sides of our parents when I had delivered.
Oh.
That is the first challenge. Like we didn't know what to do.
The challenge starts right from labor.
Yes. So right there, and then after a month or so, actually my sister-in-law was planning on coming to help us out during that. But her dad fell sick and she had to go, so there was no other help. So for the first 1 month, we were like, okay, I don't know what to do. They're crying,
Yeah.
okay. And the best part was, the day we came back from the hospital, the kids were crying. All we know is, okay, if they're crying for hunger or check the diapers.
Yeah, that's it.
We thought it was hunger, and then we kept on feeding the
kept
formula.
feeding until they throw up.
No, they didn't, and
Okay.
they still kept crying. And around 3 o'clock, we didn't know what to do.
Right.
And we didn't know the pediatrician. She just
Right.
came to the hospital and said hi, hello, and all that. I'm like, okay, forget it. Let's just call her to see what is happening. And she asked, like, did you even feed and the babies are drinking? And like, yeah. And we gave this much ounce, and like, that is too much. They don't even feed a drop after that.
Right.
And then they would go back to sleep. They're too full and too heavy to hold that.
Right.
So,
So
like these
the challenge
kind of
started from there, and then what happened when you started growing up? And
then eventually we had nanny to take care.
Right.
And again, the language thing, I'm going through it right now, because like we speak. I'm from Chennai, but mother tongue is Telugu.
Okay.
So we try to get both
speak
languages,
Telugu. Okay. Oh.
Telugu and Tamil.
Oh God, this is more burden on the kids.
No, we didn't force them for Tamil,
Right.
but my husband is also like me. So we talk between us in Tamil, but my parents, his parents, they all talk in Telugu. So we were trying to make them speak in Telugu, but they wanted to understand what we are talking between us.
Of course, they always want to know that.
that is why they are learning Tamil. We are not forcing it on them. It's just that
that's
they are trying to sneak and see what we are talking. And one I would say was like my husband was saying, like when they were like 3 or 4 years old, he wanted to go to Home Depot. And he said he used the word in Tamil for the home and said, "I'm just going out to Home Depot."
they don't understand.
Yeah, they're like, "Where are you going?" She said, "Nothing, nowhere. We're not going anywhere." And she's like, "No, I heard you say you're going to Home Depot." And so they just understood that.
Kids are smart. So, do your kids go to college?
So my older one, he's a rising senior.
Okay.
And my younger one, he's a high school senior right now.
Okay.
Oh.
So just to analyze Desi mindset, Indian mindset, why are Indians so crazy about school districts? They are willing to sell their properties, resort to fraudulent addresses, and I've seen that in Cupertino School District. Many people did that in California, and the goal is good. The goal is to put their kids in the best. Why are we so crazy? Ranking number 3 doesn't work for us. 4 doesn't work. It's only 1.
We don't believe in compromising, right?
Yeah. Why? No, seriously, what is it? I mean.
So I think it stems from the fact, Arun, that how we have been brought up, right? At least I can talk from my generation standpoint. We have valued education so much, and the rigmarole of our academics back in India is so different from here that at first, even me, I have learned. It has been an experience for me, going through elementary, middle school, as well as high school. I think I have learned a whole lot. It's, again, we have always focused on academics, and we'll do anything, even right now in India, right? We'll do anything to get into the best of the colleges, best of the schools. So I think that is a mindset that we bring here as well.
Correct.
So, and I think that will not change.
Yeah, I think it just carries over. So what do you think, Rekha?
Yeah, the same thing. I'm in Parsippany. So it's not top level, but still it's like you could see a lot of Desis there, and we have pretty much Chinese population also there. So it's like the school, you could see all the Asian, I should say.
Right.
It's the same thing, I guess. What she explained, like we want the best education to our kids.
Yeah, I think it's in our genes. It's not just Indians. I've seen Chinese people also. They like to be competitive, and many schools, just the internal talk, right? Inside talk is that there's a lot of in America, just on a lighter vein. In America, there's competition in schools between Indians and Chinese.
Yes.
They're so competitive. They always want the top spots, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Totally.
That's in a nice way.
In a nice way, yes.
Yeah. In a nice way. So I think the same thing gets carried over to these colleges too. I'm sure you wanted only Ivy League and nothing else.
No, honestly, Arun, from my standpoint, I never really forced my kids, or said, I want you to get into Ivy League.
Yeah, let's turn the camera off and let's see if she says the same thing. Let's see. Let's see if a crew can turn now.
So, and I'm being honest to you, I never really forced my kids for that. Getting into a good college, getting good education is very important to us, and that's what I told my kids. You have to make your own decisions in terms of how you want to pursue your academics and your career, but we as parents will always support you, but never pressurized my kids for Ivies.
Right. Since your kids are in school yet, what do you see is the difference in thinking between the kids who were like born and brought up here, like Indian kids, versus kids in India? What do you see any difference in thinking or the way they look at things?
They're more into electronics, is what I see.
Who's they? You mean
my
here?
My kids.
Okay, your kids.
And here, I mean, like we.
I mean, in general, not just your kids, but in general, kids here. Let's say you take a 10-year-old kid here who's born and brought up here. versus a 10-year-old kid in India. So how do you think they think the same
The
way?
10-year-old over here, or even like the early stages, like we were born and brought up where we go to school, come back, get refreshed, and go out to play. Probably some parents would say finish up the homework and then go play, come back whatever time you want, or they will let you play and ask them to come back by 6 o'clock most, and then do your homework, kind of a thing. Here it's like no matter what, you don't get to go out and play, or even if you force, like they would immediately come back and take the electronics. Even when we meet in gatherings or parties or anything, each kid is in one corner with a cell phone or an iPad or some kind of electronic.
Playing games or something.
Yeah, so it's like when we were brought up, or now even back home in India, like there are so many places where kids are just playing outside. Here also we force them to take to this soccer game or that game, they get that exposure. But we were not forced when we were a child, or over back home right now also they're not forced. They just take the cricket bat, go out, and even gully mein they'll just play. The scooter or bike or anything comes, they'll be like, hold on, let them pass, and then do it. This is not happening here.
Right. What do you think, Toral? What's the difference between?
So I think, Arun, the basic fact is the social aspect is so different over here, right? Again, to be able to knock at your neighbor's door and go play outside is so much easier back in India. And I think that is the reason why we see our kids, being confined in their homes, and again with this technology, outburst, right, as we call it. Having access to all these electronic gadgets, like you said, Rekha, contributes to that as well. And I think seasons also matter. In winter, you can't really go out, so everybody's pretty much hibernating there. Right. So I guess that contributes a lot to the way our kids, are home as much.
Okay.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a break. We'll be back after a few seconds. Keep watching ManaTV. Thank you.
Getting ready to move? We can help you get to your happy place. Just tell us about your move and receive free estimates from the nation's best moving companies in minutes. If you're moving across town, or across the country, or across the globe, Movers.com can get you there.